Coming up on This Week in Torrance.
Drone technology is helping to fight crime. We'll tell you how.
Then you won't have to travel across the country to taste the flavors of Asian street food. We'll tell you where you can go right here in the city.
Plus, talented performers took to the stage at this year's South Bay's Got Talent. Find out who took home the top prize.
And a one-of-a-kind experience draws out more than 1,200 spectators to a local park. We'll take you there.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks so much for joining us. Here are your top stories. The local business community took part in a county-wide effort to create awareness for earthquake preparedness. Ganahl Lumber was the host site of the South Bay event and welcomed business owners to learn why and how they should prepare for the inevitable big one. Representatives from various organizations such as Optimum Seismic and the LA County Office of Sustainability spoke at the Creating a Safer Los Angeles County Forum. This event was hosted by the Business Federation, also known as BizFed. BizFed, in partnership with Optimum Seismic, curated an educational series to help local business leaders prepare for natural disasters. The event highlighted the importance of why businesses should be prepared and how they can plan in hopes of creating more resilient businesses. Speakers talked about the types of buildings that are at risk, discussed protecting employees and the liability owners may have if affected by an earthquake, and of course, the various benefits of being prepared. Small businesses make up 92% of the California economy, and majority of the time, the buildings are the most vulnerable. Information was shared on how businesses can be prepared not only before a big one, but how to deal with the aftermath to make sure they thrive.
This is something you should think about now. This is something that is to your benefit. It's a responsible thing to do as a business owner. It's because it makes good economic sense too. The cost of being prepared is so much less than what potential damage you could sustain. So it's just good business, it's common sense. Be prepared today.
Lots of terrific consultants all around. You've got engineers here, we've got architects here, we've got consultants here. They need to talk to people. They need to understand what work needs to be done on their business, on their property. Need to understand what work is affordable at this time, and to do those things that they can reasonably afford and are necessary to get done now.
Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce was one of the many chambers supporting this mission. The next one will take place on October 10th in Los Angeles at the Southern California Association of Governments office. The Torrance City Council presented two important proclamations at the recent meeting. In honor of Fire Prevention Week, the city is encouraging the community to be aware of your surroundings, plan and practice home fire and work escape routes, and teach everyone in your family how to call 911 in the event of an emergency. The 2019 Fire Prevention Week theme is called Not Every Hero Wears a Cape. Plan and practice your escape. Then Council proclaimed October Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the City of Torrance. The 1736 Family Crisis Center is a resource serving individuals and families in crisis. The mission is to help children, women, men, and families experiencing domestic violence, human trafficking, homelessness, abuse, neglect, post-traumatic stress disorder, and much more. 1736 Family Crisis Center received more than 4,000 calls in 2018 alone.
This week's City Council meeting adjourned in memory of former Assistant City Manager Mary Giordano, who was an integral part of the city's operations and growth.
Mary has left a significant footprint on the city and in this community. She had a style and grace that truly let one know her caring was genuine. Mary will be remembered for her generosity, loyalty, spirit of heart, and willingness to help others. Our heartfelt condolences are with her family, co-workers, and many friends. She will be deeply missed by all that had the privilege of knowing her.
You know, there were times when we'd get ourselves into financial problems and she would magically get us out. And there were other times when she'd gather us together and say, we can't go that route because we're going to be in financial difficulties and problems. Those were key elements of who Mary was.
City Manager Leroy Jackson called Giordano the Clint Eastwood of Torrance. She was known to get deals closed, make projects happen, and keep Torrance out of financial troubles. She was said to be the linchpin to the organization. Giordano, who was born in Browntown, Texas, and began her career here in Torrance in 1987 as the finance director. Prior to joining the city, she served as controller for the city of Long Beach and audit manager for Price Waterhouse. Giordano accepted the position of assistant city manager in 1995. She was known for her calm demeanor and aptitude for forward thinking. Giordano's commitment to excellence led to the accomplishments of many noteworthy projects in Torrance, including the after-school programs, the Attic Teen Center, Bartlett Senior Center, Farmers Market safety improvements, D. Hardison Sports Center, the One Stop Permit Center, and much, much more. She was praised by many for her strong work ethic, leadership, dedication, and enthusiasm. Giordano was a mentor to countless staff over her 3 decades of service. In an email sent by City Manager Jackson, he shared his condolences and said her sparkle, her brilliance, her commitment so impacted our organization and our city. Giordano retired on February 6, 2018. She passed on September 28th at the age of 73. She will be missed by many here in Torrance.
A one-of-a-kind competition showcasing talents in the South Bay returned for its 6th year. 18 acts took center stage to show off their best talents. Torrance CitiCABLE reporter Jocelyn Ortega has the story.
It was a night filled with excitement. Contestants of all ages dazzled the audience and got a taste of what it's like to be a star.
I'm definitely feeling nervous. Even during rehearsal, I was singing and I was shaking, but hopefully when I get out there, I'll just be able to look out and be able to think, I'm doing what I love.
I feel pretty good about it. I'm always my worst critic, so I'm trying to be, like another person, like someone in the audience.
Some of last year's winners, such as Mackenzie Smalling and Chelsea Snow, came back to perform, and all together, they delivered a riveting show. Talent shows are a great place for future stars to shine. This year, close to 70 people came out to audition. Getting in front of an audience on a stage isn't always easy. But to these performers, it wasn't just about the glory of winning the competition, but rather a chance to share a piece of themselves with their community. Some of the most unique performers included Ipsita Bhattacharya, who used her dancing to help raise thousands of dollars to support a close friend with leukemia, Matthew Morielli, who entered college at just 16 years old and has a knack for creating original music, and of course, the winner of the competition, 8-year-old Gagani Weir-Sakira, who began singing at just 2 years old. She says this victory is a milestone in making her dreams come true.
I might go to Mayor's Got Talent. It fits for me and it makes me more happy.
The show was hosted by former actor and journalist Brian Singer. He says his favorite part of the job is watching the kids hone their talents and pursue their journeys.
And we've been watching them grow for the last 6 years. We've seen a kid that was a 9-year-old is now a 15-year-old, and you see the maturity. You see them develop into potential stars.
The Torrance Cultural Arts Foundation puts this show on every year as an opportunity for local entertainment and the chance to showcase creativity and passion and win some prizes. If you miss this show, be sure to come down and support your talented South Bay neighbors next year. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Jocelyn Ortega.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jocelyn. For more information, go to the Torrance Cultural Arts Foundation website at torrancearts.org.
Locals didn't have to drive far to watch LA Opera's new production, La Boheme. It was brought to the big screen live at Columbia Park in Torrance. CitiCABLE reporter Jen Murua has the story.
The highly anticipated La Boheme brought out more than 1,200 people to Columbia Park. Many came out early to get the best spot. Vice President of LA Opera Stacy Brightman says it was a community partnership to bring the spectacular performance to locals.
We have been so deeply impressed by every part of the city. Eve Rappaport at the Torrance Cultural Services Department has helped bring in all of the partners from the police department, the fire department, Parks and Recreation, and honestly world class. If we go other places, it would be really, really nice to bring this team because everybody has been so welcoming, so creative in finding, you know, if we have issues, we solve them because everybody is on board for giving this experience to all of the residents of the city.
La Boheme is set in 19th century Paris and follows the struggles of young artists searching for love, life, and friendship. Live performances from the Joan Merouar Nashev singers resulted in people jumping to their feet to dance and feel the music.
I have been to LA Opera before, but I wasn't able to get tickets for La Boheme, and so I decided to come here because it's free and it's a great opportunity to see the show.
Alyssa Mesa, an opera singer and part of the Cal State Long Beach Performing Arts program, was excited to see La Boheme for the first time.
Well, it'll inspire future opera singers as well. Like, if I were a little girl here right now, I'd be so excited and I might want to try something like this. I started taking singing lessons when I was 3rd grade, and I just loved it so much, and I kept taking them. And in high school, too, I continued singing lessons, and I was in choirs, and I was able to make kind of a big debut at Carnegie Hall. My junior year, that's when it came to me that this could maybe be an actual future that I could try pursuing.
With this unique partnership, the city was able to enjoy the grand performance for free, something that has never been done before in the city. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Jen Murua.
Thanks, Jen. To learn more about LA Opera and their performances throughout the year, head to laopera.org.
The sound of drums and the roar of the crowd filled the stands of West High School's Fred Peterson Stadium, not for this week's football game, but for the marching band. Nicole Salvatierra takes us to the South Bay Invitational, where these bands kicked off their competitive season.
Owen Nowak from North High School's marching band has performed in the South Bay Invitational since the 8th grade.
I feel like this is the best that we've done so far. I've been having a lot of fun playing with my friends in band.
A South Bay tradition for 34 years now, the Saxon Regiment, along with crosstown schools South and West High, competed against schools from across Los Angeles County. The South Bay Invitational brings the Torrance community close and brings some families even closer. Jill Nowak, Owen's mother, was also a percussionist in the Saxon Regiment and uses these events to support her son and her alma mater.
The friendships that these kids develop and the camaraderie is all the same. It's everything.
While the South Bay Invitational is a chance for the Nowak family to bond, it's also one of the few times the various Torrance high schools can support each other. For North High School band director Brian Smith, the difference between sports rivalries and band competitions are day and night.
When we get all the musicians together, it really is a friendly rivalry, and we're really all rooting for each other. Everybody wants to see everybody succeed. Everybody wants everybody's group to do the best they can.
West High School Entertainment Unit ended the competition with an exhibition of their show, playing hits by Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band Queen. Schools were awarded trophies and earned scores in hopes to qualify for the Southern California Band and Orchestra Association Championship in November. I'm Nicole Salvatierra for This Week in Torrance.
Thanks, Nicole. For your next chance to watch all the Torrance marching bands in one place, check out the Band Showcase on December 2nd at North High School. The event is free and open to the public.
Artists from the community brought to life different parts of the Madrona Marsh Preserve and Nature Center with their artwork. The Torrance Artists Guild exhibited art pieces from their members who painted scenes from the marsh. Artists used pastel, acrylic, watercolor, and oil mediums. Some scenes captured specific species that live at the marsh. Many of the pieces were overall scenic photos of the Torrance gem. All of the photos on display were painted at the marsh. This type of work is called plein air paintings, when an artist leaves the walls of their studio and experiences painting and drawing in the landscape they are capturing. Many artists at this exhibit picked their favorite spot to paint from.
Madrona Marsh is truly one of my favorite places to paint in all of Southern California. Every year I look forward to a nice rainy winter because it means the marsh is going to be coming alive in the spring and with wildflowers and birds, and it's just such a fantastic place. I probably do almost a quarter of the paintings I do in total come from Madrona Marsh.
The painting that I'm showing today, I really wanted to capture the light and the glow of the marsh that morning. I come very early, and if I was here at sunrise, this is what you would see. It's just beautiful to capture the light, and that was I have a goal with every painting. It's either capture a symbol of the marsh, but this time it was purely the light of the marsh.
The exhibit's goal was to spark interest in the community and to encourage more people to visit the marsh and see all that it has to offer. The Torrance Artists Guild is a nonprofit organization and is one of the oldest chartered clubs in Torrance. It cultivates art skills, promotes awareness, and encourages appreciation of art in our community. To learn more, head to torranceartistguild.org.
The Torrance Police Department began incorporating the use of drones into its law enforcement efforts in 2016. Reporter Colleen Farrell recently ventured out with officers to learn how expansion of the program is making fighting crime safer for police and for the public.
This is the Torrance Police Department. Come out now with your hands up.
Meet the Mavic 2, one of 3 types of drones being used by the Torrance Police Department's unmanned aerial system team. What started out as a small experiment has since expanded to up to 20 drone missions per month. More and more drones are being deployed where previously an LAPD helicopter was called in, saving the department money and manpower.
It provides us an aerial view of all these different scenarios. It's increased our officer safety tenfold.
Officers must follow strict guidelines when deploying a drone. Drones can't be equipped with a weapon or used for surveillance. What they can do is be the eyes and ears to keep officers out of harm's way.
Imagine turning a corner and the suspect popping up in front of you and you had no idea he was there. It might lead to a deadly confrontation. Whereas now we can kind of plan our movements and take the suspect into custody, hopefully with no force at all.
When the action starts and it gets exciting, we can put the drone up and we can stand back and see what's happening, so we don't have to rush in, so we don't have to get actually physically close to a person to see what's going on.
Another useful feature is the drone's infrared sensor. It detects heat, helpful in locating suspects and also coyotes in the neighborhood. Drones are also replacing tactical robots during indoor searches and hostage situations. Live video captured by drones can be streamed directly to a remote command post or an officer's cell phone. One of the advantages to using drones over tactical robots is their ability to maneuver over stairs and other obstacles. This gives officers a live view over dangerous situations.
If we can get a drone into the location, we'll do that first before any officers have to go inside, because it's much better than, obviously a drone being damaged or shot or hit out of the sky, much better than an officer being shot.
Additional benefits for drone use in law enforcement continue to be discovered. Officer Dave Maitland sees a future where drones could one day be instantly deployed from a remote location across the city.
People are just now realizing the view that you see and the tool that it is and how much it does help for officer safety, liability, and so many things. I think it's going to go so much farther.
For now, Mavic 2 and its partner drones are ready for action. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Colleen Farrell.
Thank you, Colleen. Funding for the Torrance Police Department drone program was made possible by the Torrance Police Foundation.
Community organizations partnered with the City of Torrance to decrease the number of seniors that fall. For the 3rd year in a row, the Torrance Fire Department, libraries, and Torrance Memorial Medical Center partnered to host the Senior Health Fair. Various booths were set up to share what resources are available to older adults. There were health screenings, information on free fall prevention classes in Torrance, Medicare, and resources for home modifications and assistive devices. Representatives from the South Bay Village, Alzheimer's LA, Community Focal Point on Aging all provided their resources in making sure they stay safe in their homes. Torrance Fire Department officials say more than 10% of the calls they receive are from older adults who have fallen.
People are aware of steps that they can take to prevent falls. That's going to be the single most effective avenue to help people understand ways that they themselves can decrease those falls.
Well, it's been a really great partnership between all our agencies. It's just growing every year, and also we see the need, so that's why we still continue to have it.
Focal Point's been around about 20 some years, and it was started by a fellow named Russ Nolte, and so what we want to do is get the phone number out so that people can call us and we can get them referred to whatever they need.
The fair is the culmination of Fall Prevention Awareness Week here in the City of Torrance.
What we're really trying to do is to reduce falls among older adults, and so for those folks who usually call 911, we're trying to, get upstream. We're trying to prevent falls before they actually happen, because they can be a life-altering event.
I came to it last year too, and it's also very informative. I learned a lot from it, and they really good answers too. So in fact, I think I'm going to volunteer for a couple of the Meals on Wheels, and the compassion one over there. But I enjoy it, and I'm glad they have it every year.
This event kind of gives me a mirror into what life could be for me in the future, and gives me a little bit of a heads up so I can kind of prepare and maybe avoid some of these things.
To learn about the services the city has to offer to seniors, go to torranceca.gov.
Then not too far away at the Del Amo Fashion Center, the community also learned about safety resources from across Los Angeles County. The first of its kind 2019 South Bay's Public Safety Fair was put on by the Street Racing Kills and the Utopian Society Project of Hopes of Empowering the Community. The main focus of the fair was traffic safety, and that's why local first responders and the California Highway Patrol were in attendance, along with organizations such as Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Lily Trujillo founded Street Racing Kills after she lost her daughter in a tragic car accident during a street racing accident where her daughter was the passenger.
It's because of her. It's making sure that her death's not in vain. It's making sure that there's a parent spared from losing a child. And by doing this, I know that there's a lot of people and a lot of families and just young people that will be safe, and the parents will not outlive their children.
The purpose of today is to bring the community together. We can go out and complain all we want, or we could always talk about the things that are wrong in society, but instead of being part of the problem, we want to be part of the solution.
The Utopian Society Project's mission is to create a utopian society, one random act of kindness at a time. Attendees of all ages enjoyed games and face painting. Students Against Destructive Decisions, Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health, and businesses such as State Farm were also present, who have been donating back to the Street Racing Kills organization.
For every quote my office generates, we give her $1. And that can range between $80 to $200 a month. And for right now, because I'm a new agency, and I intend to make that grow. And then for every quote that she donates to my organization, we donate $10. So the idea is to get her, as much as possible so she can spread the word more. And a lot of our funds helps her to buy things for people, whether it's the pamphlets, anything that has to do with awareness.
For more information, you can go to streetracingkills.org and email info@theutopiansocietyproject.org.
A popular clothing chain files for bankruptcy, putting more than 40 stores in California in danger of closing. Forever 21 recently issued a list of 178 stores throughout the United States in its U.S. bankruptcy court filings as possible closures. Among those included 26 stores in Southern California. As of now, the Torrance location at Del Amo Fashion Center was not on that list.
You don't have to travel far to experience the taste of authentic Asian street food. The new restaurant Cheok opened recently in the Rolling Hills Plaza near the AMC Theater. They received an overwhelming response as dozens waited in line to try out the food. Dishes from the menu include hot chicken bao, pork belly banh mi, Asian street bowl, and specialty drinks like the Blue Lagoon and strawberry shortcake. Those were some of the favorites among customers.
A lot of flavor, a lot of color. It was good. The pork belly was really good. I'm Asian, so I like it. So, yeah.
I have to say the banh mi was good, the golden bao was good, the pork belly bao was good, and I had ordered 2 vermicelli dishes too, and they were both good.
Cheok is a collaboration between 3 friends who ate their way through Asia, from Bangkok to Singapore to Japan. These experiences helped them bring back the bold flavors of Asia's legendary markets to town. Cheok aims to give customers a memorable eating experience by using fresh ingredients and spices, creating their classic dishes right in front of you. And if you're wondering what Cheok means, it's commonly used in Malaysia and Singapore to convey the feeling of sheer happiness. They are open every day from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can also check out their website at cheokeats.com. The Torrance Refining Company celebrated teachers and their visions to making curriculum stronger in their classrooms. The teachers from the Torrance Unified School District showed off the programs they were able to offer to students and implement in the classroom thanks to Torrance Refining Company's Innovation Education Grant Program. Students and families also came out to show their support. 28 teachers were recognized and received the grant in 2018. The grant provides TUSD teachers with funds to enhance their curriculum in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, along with promoting career and workforce readiness. Torrance Refining Company grants $100,000 in funding. Teachers selected were required to show a direct link to design thinking techniques while incorporating Common Core state standards and next-generation science standards into their proposed curriculum. Teachers presented their projects on display.
I asked last year for 2 3D printers. I asked for one from Czechoslovakia, which is a Prusa, and I asked for one from Data Impressions. So one actually has an exposed platform, and the other one is contained. The one that we bought, the Prusa, we actually assembled ourselves so they could see the pieces that go with the printer. It creates so many different objects for so many different fields.
It feels absolutely amazing to get this award because I was able to do so much with it, help so many students, and be able to just pursue my passion as a teacher and enhance the lives of students.
I feel very glad that she got this award because it's able to pay for our class, it's able to pay for the ingredients that we use in our food, and it's able to pay for the technology that we use in order to make the food. And overall, I'm just really glad she got this grant because it benefits many people, not just myself. It benefits a lot of kids who might not necessarily know what to do in the kitchen.
We are very involved with STEM and STEM classes, mathematics, science classes, all the way from elementary through high school. This program is where Torrance Refining Company actually gives grants to teachers for innovative projects, and we're very appreciative of that.
The grant selection committee comprised of Torrance Refining Company employee volunteers who selected the winning grant proposals.
At the Torrance Refinery, we see the value of science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, called STEAM, in our day-to-day operations. And so we want to encourage that, and so we are pleased to do what we can to help our teachers.
It makes you feel good because, it makes you think back to when you were a kid and the things the teachers had helped you, so it's nice to give back.
It's good that we get the kids learning this stuff early because, this is what keeps us advancing and making our lives better in the future by incorporating science into everyday life.
Applications for this school year's grant program close this week. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Jin Chun. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.